Welcome to the channel, I'm Sam the Ashen. This is part 2 of my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. Part 1 is on my channel if you want to see that. With that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Picking up where we left off, I was on Risen Road. I went ahead and defeated the ambush and decided that I would take the loot from the people that were transporting it because they were also criminals.
Fine. No need for more violence. I'll tell my associates everything was lost in the ambush. The chest's all yours.
But he also let me know to look him up if I was ever in Baldur's Gate, so he wasn't that upset about it.
And no hard feelings, you hear? I'd have done the same if I were you.
There was also a werewolf that we talked into fighting for us, and afterwards
tears out her own throat.
Took care of itself because that was the only option besides fighting it. Next up, we found Karlach. She was a tiefling who paladins had said she was a devil because they wanted her dead. It turned out that they were actually demons from hell trying to track her down. So obviously we took her side and took care of these so-called paladins.
Them. Thariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. They'll find nothing but a pile of ash.
In the meantime, I switched out Lae'zel for Karlach. I wanted to see what she was like. We headed down to a swamp that we found and ran into the best insult that I've heard in a long time.
Nosy, scum-sucking, lice-ridden little ball bag! Get out!
I got roasted by a garden gnome. Next, we had to fight Auntie Ethel, who was a evil witch, to save Mayrina. She was the hardest fight that I've had so far. By far. So after we made it out, we found Mayrina's husband who was dead, who Auntie Ethel promised to bring back. This was not the case.
Oh, this isn't what she promised!
I didn't feel too bad for Mayrina, because she was dumb enough to take a pretty obviously stupid deal from Auntie Ethel, but I'm playing a good character, so I decided to do the right thing. But just to kind of see what would happen, I decided to try the other option first of keeping the wand to become the master of the zombie husband, and the result was very unexpected.
A spasm grips your chest. Your strength falters. An emptiness grows within you, Paladin. Something has been lost.
You have broken your oath, Paladin.
Even though this looks super interesting, I decided not to take this route yet, so I reloaded the save to where I gave Mayrina the wand. Then I went back to Emerald Grove and let them know that I had saved Hausen earlier to get my reward. And it was cool. It was in a hidden vault. The rewards were nothing crazy, but it was a really nice atmosphere. I was confident that I had cleared up most of the side stuff that I wanted to, so I headed back to the Goblin camp so that I could find my way to Moonrise Towers without some fun experiences along the way. I made my way deeper down into the temple where the entrance to the Underdark was, solved a puzzle, and I was able to get right in. Now I had the option to go above ground or through the Underdark. The Underdark sounded much more interesting, and I ended up making the right choice, I think. The atmosphere was insane, it was really beautiful, so I'm really happy with the route I chose. Right after reaching the bottom, I came up on a Selûnite outpost, not sure if that's how you say that. So it was a nice little area to rest. There was some locks to pick, which I used Astarion for. And after that, we made our way deeper into the Underdark, and we were quickly met with a group of weird plant people who we were able to convince to let us inside.
Creatures have experienced recent tragedy.
Let us speak in flesh.
The persistent music coaxes you forward.
It was unlike any area I've seen so far. It was gorgeous, filled with mushrooms and nice colors. It was really awesome. Then we ran into a chunky little fella called Glut.
I am the danger.
Glut wanted to avenge his colony by defeating the Draugr, so did the leader for the Mykonoi colony, so we decided to take him along with us because it killed two birds with one stone. First, I wanted to test my pickpocketing skills with Astarion, and it worked out fairly well, surprisingly, so I was a tad bit richer. After we headed down to meet the Draugr, we ran into a mind flayer that was actually friendly and offered to investigate the parasite for us if we got him some mushrooms.
Your sanity, however much you possess, should remain intact.
So we headed out, and after finding and defeating the Draugr, we resurrected one of the corpses to find out where they came from, and we found out they came from across the lake on a boat, which was valuable info because we found the boat. But not before Glut had some problems with us.
Corpse will birth my circle.
Yeah, he had decided that he wanted to be king and plotted for us to help him overthrow the sovereign that gave us the original mission. We declined. We found the boat and we decided that we were ready to cross the lake, and the atmosphere was insane. It was really good, really well done, and I was very impressed with the way it was put together. As we were on our way, we got ran up on by some other Draugr who recognized the boat and knew that we weren't supposed to be on it. So the little tubby captain decided that he was going to hop over to our boat, and it gave me the option to push him into the water. Now, I couldn't resist, okay? I could not resist to see what would happen. I lost it. The combination of my character just mean mugging everybody and the way he hit the back of the boat and rolled into the water, it was hilarious. This game has made me laugh a lot, which is something that's really impressive for a game. Anyways, we ended up rolling up on a place that I later found out was the Germ Forge, place we were supposed to be. Upon landing, it definitely helped that they thought I was a true soul absolute cultist. Next, I gaslit a group of spiders into thinking
Useless? Hideous? Xanta.
that their master was dogging on them. I felt kind of bad, but it was less enemies for me to fight, and they got to go free, so it was a win-win.
Follow me into Lolth's hairy embrace.
So we're still trying to get to Moonrise Towers, but we also found out that there are some slaves being kept here, the Deep Gnomes, so we decided that we were going to do our best to free them. So we're working on investigating that. Stealing some stuff along the way, but I didn't feel bad because they were slavers. Met this guy.
Hey, hey.
Obviously a genius. Next, we're going to talk about Gale. So even though Gale hasn't been in my party, he is one of my favorite characters. He's one of the coolest, has really cool backstory. He was with a goddess, some things went wrong.
Gazing into the wonders that lay beyond, I sought to cross her boundaries.
He basically tried to impress her so much, and it ended up backfiring on him and got him into a lot of trouble, and she was not impressed.
Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied.
You heard right. Our boy Gale slept with a goddess, the goddess of magic, no less. Maybe that's why he's such a amazing wizard, you know. After dealing with the mimics, awesome callback to Dark Souls by the way, I headed deeper into the Germ Forge, and I found a really cool amulet that ended up having a monk inside of it, which was pretty interesting.
Thou shalt bathe in her golden gifts.
After agreeing to take the monk to Baldur's Gate whenever we go, we explored deeper into the mine and we found some mithril ore, which seemed to be really rare and really important, so we hung on to it. We also ran into a lava elemental that proved to be quite the challenge. We barely made it out alive. As we went on, we found the adamantite forge, which seemed to be able to craft us an insane piece of armor. We were just missing some key component, and it turned out to be lava. So of course I let Karlach turn on the lava because she's an infernal and all. And to our surprise, as the lava comes out, so does a guardian with over 300 health. We had never seen an enemy this strong, so obviously I was a little bit worried. I am going to leave it off there. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like or a comment really does help out a lot in the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. If you want to see more from me, subscribing to the channel is a perfect way to do that. If you do decide to, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully I will see you next time. Have a good one.